The night Martha stopped crying, someone else started screaming, and by the time the neighbors turned on their lights, it was already too late.
theSpiritvox, it's alive.
There is a kind of woman the world never worries about. She doesn't shout, she doesn't fight back, she doesn't ask for help. She just takes it. Every insult, every shove, every night she's locked outside in the cold. She sits there quietly, like she's waiting for something, but no one ever asks what happens when she stops waiting. Dennis Calloway didn't marry Martha for love. He married her for three things: $3,000, a second-hand pickup truck, and a generator. That was it. To him, that was all Martha was worth. And Martha? She never argued, never questioned him. She just lived in the house, like a shadow that cooked his meals. At first it was just words. You're useless. You're lucky I even married you. Then came the silence. Heavy, cold, endless, like she didn't exist anymore. And then came the nights outside. The first time, she thought it was a mistake. The second time, she stayed quiet. By the third time, she started checking the weather before sunset, not because she had plans, but because she needed to know how cold it would be when he locked her out again. She never knocked, never screamed, never begged. She would just sit there on the porch, knees pulled to her chest, her fingers slowly turning pale in the cold, waiting for morning. And every morning, Dennis would open the door like nothing happened, and Martha, she would walk inside and start making breakfast. The neighbors knew. Of course they knew. Lights flicked on at night, curtains moved. People saw her, sitting alone, in the dark. But no one came out. No one asked. No one helped. Only one person ever said anything. An old woman down the road, Miss Adele. One morning, watching Martha walk back inside, she whispered, "One day, that woman's going to break." No one believed her, because quiet people don't break, right? 3 years later, a cold October night, Dennis grabbed her by the hair and threw her outside again. Martha hit the porch hard. Her hands scraped the wood. The door slammed. Click. Silence. She didn't cry, didn't move, just lay there, staring into the dark, listening to his footsteps fade away inside the house. And then something changed. Not anger, not fear. Something quieter, something colder. For the first time in 3 years, Martha didn't feel like waiting. She stood up slowly, her body stiff from the cold, her eyes empty. She walked to the side of the house. Dennis had stacked firewood there. She picked up a piece, heavy, rough, solid. Then she walked back to the door and knocked twice, slow. From inside, Dennis's voice. "Who is it?" No answer. Footsteps. Closer. Faster. Angrier. The lock turned. The door opened. He didn't even finish his sentence. Martha hit him. Once. Twice. Again. And again. Wood cracked in her hands. Dennis screamed, louder than anyone had ever heard before. He stumbled back, tripping, falling. But Martha didn't stop. Not this time. Not ever again. Lights exploded on across the road. Doors opened. People ran outside because Dennis was screaming, and that was something worth noticing. But when Martha cried in the cold for 3 years, no one came, no one looked, no one cared. When it was over, Dennis was on the floor, broken, crying, and Martha, she was sitting on the porch steps, quiet again, like nothing had changed. When the deputy asked what happened, Martha looked up and said, "He fell, and that was all." Dennis never touched her again, not once. He walked with a limp for the rest of his life. And Martha? She stayed. She cooked. She gardened. She slept inside. Every night. Some people say she went too far. Some say she lost control. But the people who lived there never said that, because they knew this didn't happen in one night. Miss Adele used to say, "The world pushes quiet people to the edge, and then acts surprised when they don't fall." So tell me, do you think Martha went too far? Or did she stop just in time? Subscribe to SpiritVox, because the quietest stories are always the loudest.